All right, let's go ahead and run through the deal of the week for today, August 28th. So this week, found a pretty interesting property out there. This one's out in Elk Ridge, Maryland. All right. It is not quite a duplex. It's actually two single family homes on the same lot. It's pretty unique. They're asking for 620,000. They actually started at 700,000, and they've been coming down and coming down. What's pretty interesting about this home, it's quite large. It does have two buildings. So the first is a 4 bedroom, 2 bath house, and the second is a 3 bedroom, 1.5 bath house. All right. The main home looking at about 4,400 square feet. You get another couple thousand square feet on the second house. The seller is very motivated. All right, they're really looking for an offer. It is an estate sale, so they are highly motivated, looking just to get it sold and move on with their lives. So you can definitely get a decent discount here. As I mentioned, they started up at 700,000. It's been about 75 days, and they're down to about 620. I think we could come in even cheaper than that. When I was running my numbers, I was basing it off of 575,000 on the offer price. If we do take a quick look at kind of what this home looks like, so it is older, built in the 1800s. So definitely seeing a lot of things that are quite dated, but overall looks certainly habitable. Could just use some fresh cleaning and a little updating, and I think it would go a pretty long way. But super large kitchen area, a little bit updated flooring, a little bit updated on the bathrooms and the laundry. It does have the exposed beams, which I personally think is pretty cool and unique. Definitely helps stand out. Um, but just needs a little bit of cosmetic updating overall. Some wood paneling on the walls, even. Uh, there's a nice big sunroom, which is a nice feature here. Quite large, a little bit of storage built in as well. So pretty nice feature there. Then coming into the second home, you notice, also a relatively decent sized kitchen. Definitely a little dated on some of the cabinetry, but some updated painting there. Decent looking flooring. Bathroom could use a little bit of love. A nice large driveway. Tons of parking. Room for about 10 cars in the driveway, and a couple cars in the garage. And the garage is also separately metered and pretty large, so even has the potential to convert that and try to turn that into another little bit of a rental as well. So definitely a lot of upside on this one. Can improve this quite immensely. When looking at the rents, kind of looked at it from two perspectives, one for the 4 bedroom house and one for the 3 bedroom house. Take a look at just kind of what's out there. It was kind of hard to find something that really matched nicely. But the larger homes, you can pencil in about $3,000 a month for the rents there. This one's a little bit dated, so I did take off a little bit on the rent there. And then on the smaller home, I'm thinking about $2,500. Looks about right. You can see a couple 2 bedroom houses that were much smaller going for $1,900. There's a couple homes on the market right now for about $2,300 and $2,500, but they're both also relatively comparable in size, but a little bit smaller bedrooms and bathrooms. So overall, pulling about $5,500 in rents is what I'm seeing on this one. I realized I skipped over the sale prices. It was really hard to find a good comp for this house. I was struggling to find much multifamily in Elk Ridge. It's not very common, but in that general area, I was just looking at other homes. So there were a couple of modern homes, much newer, but about the same size. Those were selling around $800,000. And then in terms of kind of pricing out the smaller home, there's a few of those that sold around like $450,000. So obviously this home's a little dated, not going to quite fetch that much. But if you think about two homes put together for $600,000, this looks like quite a steal, honestly. Another little value, or another way to look at some value, the tax assessment on this one is at $620,000. This number is always less than what it's really worth, and you can tell they're already listed at that value already. So definitely have some equity opportunities on this one as well. If we do look at some of the cash flow on this, so assuming the $575K price, putting down 20%, about $115,000. Today's prices for rates and taxes, insurance. You look at rents. Sorry, 5,500. I think is pretty reasonable. Covering a little bit on the utility side things if you need it. Pretty strong cash flow on this deal. You're looking at about $700 to $1,300 a month in cash flow. Definitely can get the investment loan to have a decent ratio there. If we look at longer term down the line, looks like it's going to cost you about $132,000 to buy this one, which gets you cash on cash return of ballpark of about 6.7 to about 11.7%. So really strong returns on that one. If you look at the future wealth on this, you're sitting pretty. You're gonna be about almost $2.5 million 30 years down the line. When you factor in your appreciation, your cash flow, your loan pay down, and your tax benefits. And of course, comparing it to stocks, so we want to make sure we get a better return for our money and time. This deal is blowing stocks out of the water, even 30 years down the line. So numbers wise, looks really promising. If we do take a quick look at the location, we're right here off Old Washington Road. Great area, A-class area all around. So you really can't go wrong with the area. Definitely a nice spot to be. But yeah, let me know if this one checks a couple boxes for you, and we can go from there.